Damn, for real. He trying to trip out about that nigga.
She still got my lip gloss.
Oh, but he ain't not playing all that today. So y'all make sure there's no security out here. Go.
What the fuck shit? Bitch, playing my lip gloss.
What the hell? Come on.
What's the big daddy house?
Bitch,
you gotta be quiet.
You know the game like it quiet.
Fuck that bitch.
Well, you doing too fucking. And what the fuck my lip gloss?
Fuck that. I can't live with me.
Wait, I did just see him on third floor. He just got the key.
Just put it.
Wait, yeah, you too loud.
Go ahead and put this shit back in the fucking bed. You ain't supposed to be here.
Oh. I gotta go. Tell Trick I said fuck him.
I was over here big running my mouth and y'all couldn't hear nothing I was saying. Agency, you didn't mess me up with the good morning, girl. It's 1:35. Where you at? It's still morning. Where you at? Good evening. Good afternoon. Hey, Agency, baby. What's up, Top Flight? I thought I was going to be able to get this live in before Chocho woke his foot up, but it looked like he getting his tail up. Don't be laughing at Saucy Santana. Hey, my mother's keeper. Salute, Ben. Thank you for those 10 jewels. Thank you, baby. Hey, Top Flight. Good afternoon, y'all. Oh, let me see what Chocho talk about, y'all. Hold on. Okay, y'all. I think he going back to sleep. Hey, baby mama, what's up? All right, we got some things to get into as it pertains to Nolan Wills' case. It's been a lot of information dropping, and I haven't had a chance to come and holler at y'all. It's been a lot been going on in the YouTube streets, so I've been letting the mess roll, okay? PayDae, the kids be running. You're telling you what to cook, etc. Gotta love the kids. Baby, they run me to death. Do you hear me? They ain't got no chill. They don't care whatsoever. They don't care nothing about no YouTube or no PayDae or nothing. All they know is mama, I want. Okay? Yes. Story of my life. But I love it. Nonetheless, I most definitely love it. They be tripping me out. Now the other one's gone. My 17-year-old at work. Okay, so she get off at 6 o'clock. The 5-year-old and 7-year-old, they gone to mama's. So they grandma house, and then I got little Chocho here. He had been asleep for a little minute. Hopefully he'll let us get through this live, child, cause yeah, they don't be caring. Hey, no love, salute. Agency, yes. You had me all about to be telling everybody good morning, child. It's almost 2 o'clock in the evening. Okay. Child, I was up all night watching about him. Oh, Nolan Wills? Girl, I fell asleep in B-Way Live. So I did hear, the whole Jasmine and Book debacle. But yeah, eventually I fell asleep in his live. I caught some of them live, but baby Zoo got on my nerves, child. If he would have threatened anybody else with a goddamn piece of delivery, whew, like what? Send me some lobster tails while you eat it, baby. I don't want no piece. But send me some lobster tails. You out here ordering random people food. Shit. Like that's threatening. Like what the hell is really going on? Okay. But yeah, it's been a lot that's been coming out about the Nolan Will case. Actually they got some audio out there too, y'all. Have y'all heard the audio of the friends? It sounds like they say Nolan don't DIE. PayDae, did you see the reason why Nolan has a different last name? No, I didn't. Inform me. My mother's keeper tell me. It might be in one of the videos we're gonna play. I'm not for sure. I haven't looked at the stuff myself. Because I wanted to look at it with y'all. Tell me about it, my mother's keeper, please. Girl. Why he got a different last name? What's going on? I don't know. I seen them trying to condemn the parents. I saw that their little friend Tristan, who was claiming that he was Nolan's best friend, he responded to Nolan Will's mama not knowing him, basically saying that he done been by their house several times and he spoke with her and he done left his car over there and some other stuff. And I'm like, why are they trying to gang up on the parents? The parents were nowhere around when it came to Nolan. Okay, he was with his friends. The parents were nowhere around, so I don't even know or understand why we even condemning the parents for any reason. Did you see one of the interviews one of the friends did? We about to play them now. Trail Pill, the newest ones. We played part 1, 2, and 3. We're gonna play 4 and 5 today. And I want to say Katie did an interview with Officer Taylor. And from what I'm hearing, she's been calling the friends a lot. So, all right. Oh my God, his dead mom was an activist in Mississippi, and they wanted her name to live on. So his dad's mom was an activist in Mississippi, and they wanted her name to live on. So the dad and his mom didn't have a last name. The dad had his dad's last name and not his mom's last name, and he wanted Nolan to have his mom's last name. Am I getting it right? Hey, Lala's World. Salute, baby. Salute. Do I have that right, my mother's people? If so, that's crazy. If so, that is crazy. Because, like, is this some weird get back for the activist work that his grandmother did because he has her last name? Like, what's really going on? That just makes this whole situation a little weirder, to say the least. Okay, let me pull up part 4, y'all. I'm pulling up part 4 on the other screen, so I can't see the comments right now. But I got y'all. Let me get to my playlist. I played Quiet on the Creek because I wanted everybody to be quiet on the street. Lord, it's just been a whole bunch. It seemed like every time I got on here it was like, what the hell is going on? Everybody want to holler. Everybody just want to holler. Jesus. All right, my playlist right here. I've been watching Group Baby Little Story too. It's been sad to say the least as well. Shit. And I'm not really familiar with her, but I've been kind of getting familiar with her, like through hearing her story with her family and stuff. So I don't know. I don't know if y'all been seeing Group Baby or not. All right, let's get to the bottom where everything is. We got to get some more 3 too. I have a lot to say about that and a lot to play about that. But I feel like everybody been talking about it at one time within the sector, so I'm gonna kind of chill on it and then come in with what I feel. That audio is crazy though. Did y'all hear the audio? All right, here go part 4. I found it, y'all. All right. Hey, Ottawa. Hold on. Now them don't make me blush. What's going on? What's going on down here? I was on another screen. What's going on? Right, the interview with Tristan is the newest interview from Officer Raccoon. Yeah, I know. So he did part 4 and I think part 5 with Warren. He did an interview with Tristan and he did an interview with, I believe, Katie. So we're going to get to all of it. Hey, Bim, baby. What's up? I was in your live listening to Zoo threatening people with pieces and shit. What was really going on? Yes, so Nolan parents agreed to give Nolan her name, and yes, that's what they are saying is get back. Oh, wow. SD, don't come up in here flirting with my man now. What's going on? We would like he definitely is a manager. He definitely would put you in time out. Let me make sure SD modded up down there. Let me make sure you got a moderator range, man. Before they do you the worst. Let me see. Let me make sure. I got you, SD. He's talking about some, oh, I thought that was for me. Stop playing. Talking about making me blush. What is really going on? All right, so you are a standard mod, SD. But that don't mean Bim can't put hands and feet on you because he is the manager mod. But leave SD alone. He was just joking. He might be on the butt water today. Leave him alone. What's up, Ottawa? Not go sit in the corner, little nigga. He must have already put him in timeout. Some of my bad, Bim. Y'all play too much, man. Y'all play all day. Hey, Fred, what's up? All right, y'all. So let's get into this interview and see what else Warren had to say. Now, from what I've been hearing, Candy Crush, you know what? You consistently come through. I do not mind giving you a moderator. You come to all the lives, so I have no problem with it. Let me my Candy Crush up right quick, y'all. I got you. Now, don't disappoint me, Candy Crush. Now, hey, country, salute, country. All right, y'all. So, from what I've heard though, Warren got caught up in some more lies in this other interview. But we definitely about to check it out and see what's up. Okay? Let me hit play. I'm going on mute. What's up, CB? Salute to you. What up, thug? All right, y'all. So here we go. I'm gonna hit play.
I didn't come down here do anything other but to get the truth. Did you kill Nolan?
Did you have anything to do with Nolan's death? Did you delete anything out of Nolan's phone? People are still out there partying and
Right.
they're having a good time, but something happened to where it necessitated you guys to get the boat up and running. Can you explain that?
Yeah, I'm like yelling at other people, trying to tell them, calm down. Like, the boat could possibly sink, and Nolan was sitting by the boat with that Katie girl, and my buddy yelled for Nolan, get the F on the boat, get on the boat. And Nolan said, no, I'm staying out here. The next day, I got a phone call from my buddy Trace, and he was like, hey man, they just found his body. My reaction was I was with my buddy Brooks, and I broke down.
You guys had been interviewed by law enforcement. Mm-hmm. All of you guys have given statements. But then I think that there's a part associated with this that's being rumored out in the public, and that is the situation with the cell phone, potential deletion of messages, how the cell phone was retrieved. And I just want you to tell your side of this, because what we're getting from the media is that they literally had to, coerce you guys into giving it back. You didn't know where it was at. You were hesitant to give the phone over, almost as they had to turn your wrist or twist your arm just to give it back. Right. Well, what happened with the cell phone thing? So let's go back to the first engagement you had when it comes to the family or somebody coming back to get the cell phone and keys. When did that occur? And
okay, just to answer a couple questions. Yes, SD, these fools have been interviewed. Well, not all of them, just Warren and Tristan. Now Tracy came out claiming that he was Nolan Wills' best friend. The mom came out saying that best friend is a stretch, that they probably did know each other, that they probably were cool, but that she had never really met him. And then he did another interview basically saying that he had been by their house and all type of other stuff. Warren basically made it a point to distance himself from the boat that Nolan was on. He said that he stayed with Wyatt. Now, the boat that Nolan was owned by Wyatt. Okay. So he claims that he spent the night with Wyatt. They woke up, they went got McDonald's, and then for some odd reason, he called his friend Burton because Wyatt didn't have enough room on his boat. So he called Burton, and Burton has a boat as well. So Burton brought his boat out, and he ended up getting on the boat with Burton. But then later, he says that he left on the boat that Nolan was supposed to be on. Okay? And he claims that he was right there when Wyatt told Nolan to get on the boat. He also claimed that Katie was right there when Nolan refused to get on the boat. He claimed that Nolan was cradling Katie in his arms, and they told him to get on the boat, and he refused to get on the boat and said that he was staying. He also said that nobody had their cell phone. It was just a pile of cell phones sitting in the boat. Nobody wanted to get their phone wet. But then he later says that he talked to his mom while he was on the island. So now you want us to believe that nobody had their phone. It was just a pile of phones sitting on the boat. Nobody wanted to get their shit wet. But you made time to call your mom on the island and nobody else used their phone. Like, come on now. So it's a lot of inconsistencies in his story. But to answer your question, yes. This is one of the supposed friends who was out there on Horn Island that day. Somebody else asked, did Katie do an interview? They are promoting this video as if Katie did the interview. I want to say that's a picture of Katie on the thumbnail. So we're going to look at that video next. But I think that girl is Katie. But a girl definitely came out as a witness and did an interview. Okay, so that's what we had with it. Salute to CB for the 10 jewels. Salute Royalty. Everybody that's coming in. Hey, Consistent. Salute to Rap Snacks for the 2 jewels. Thank you, Rap Snacks. Trying to see if I missed anybody else before I hit play. Hey, Southern Gal. What's up? All right, so this is part 4. Let's get into it. I'm going back on mute. I'm about to hit play.
What happened there?
Okay, well, that night, about 12:30, I went back to my buddy's house.
And you said the night of the 4th?
The night of the 4th, but it was about 12:30, I would like to say. And so I went back to my buddy's house. So I stayed the night before, where we all met up, and stayed together the night before. And
it's so easy to become a podcaster with Riverside. First, go to Riverside and open an account.
my buddy got a call from this guy, and the guy was like, "Oh, what's going on with all this Nolan stuff?" Very aggravated. I mean, yeah, every right to be, but I mean, we were trying to calm him down, and he was just like, "Oh, where y'all at?" My buddy said, we're at my buddy's house, and he said, "All right," and then he just hung up. And so about 30 minutes later, I'd like to say, all of a sudden the door just got open and slammed, and there was a girl who walked in, and probably about 8 or 9 guys behind her, and then another mom, which was Javon's mom. And
who's Javon? I want to put that in perspective. Who is Javon?
Javon is one of Nolan's good friends. He's a friend of mine too. Great guy, and his mom and their family is very close with the Wells family. And I mean, so I don't know why she was there, what was going on, but I was very surprised by this. I was like, you just basically kicked the door open, and
Okay, so this interview kind of opened up kind of crazy based off of what they left off of. I'm going to assume that now we know who he's talking about. He's talking about Javion's mom, right? That is Nolan Wells' mom's close friend, right? She has 2 sons. Her 2 sons hung out with Nolan Wells a lot. They were the ones who went and got the cell phone. So I'm going to assume that he's speaking about when they came to the house to get the cell phone. Okay?
Bust up in the house with no knock or anything.
So is Javon black or white?
Javon's mixed. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, I guess he's mixed.
Yeah.
So, but he's not white.
Now, why the hell is that important? Whether he's black or white, Officer Tatum. Like, what's the relevance of that?
He's not white.
Just
not
white.
Yeah.
Or all white, I guess you might call it.
Yeah.
So then they come in the house. Do you know any of these people? And
I
you
know
said
some of the guys.
the mom, but do you know anybody else?
I've seen the mom before, and I know most of them. Most of the guys went to high school with me, and like I'm friends with some of the guys. I mean, I know some of them. So eventually, like things started to get heated, and I was just like a guy I was friends with in high school. He was like, "Man, come outside with me," and I was like, "All right." And I walked outside with him. He was like, "Man, I don't know why. Like they're panicking, and like this is just like I think Nolan's just on somebody's couch. He's been drinking all day. He's just messed up, and this is nothing that we have to worry about." As much as I sat there and I told him, I was like, I agree. I would think he's on somebody's couch, just had been drinking all day and just drank too much and was super intoxicated. And that's kind of what a lot of us thought, but they were.
Salute to Supreme Intentions for the $9.99 super chat. Salute PayDae, Officer Token doing what he does best. He most definitely is. Salute to you, Supreme Intentions, though, for the $9.99. Let's go.
They were kind of losing it, and they were going crazy. And the mom that was with them demanded Nolan's phone because Nolan left the phone on the boat. And when we ran in,
okay, y'all, let's update SD because poor thing, he's so lost in the shit. All right. So, SD, I'm going to try to run through what we already know so that you can catch up on this interview. Okay. At first, when this case happened, Nolan was missing for 2 whole days. They couldn't find him. They said that he rode on this boat with 4 other friends, and the friends left him on the island allegedly because he wanted to stay back and talk to a girl. And from there, they didn't know anything, right? That was the claim of the friends. Hey, we left him on the island with some girl named Katie that we don't know that he wanted to talk to. And, but the blige pump was messed up on the boat and the boat started filling with water. And so we had to hurry up and leave, but he didn't want to get on the boat with us. He stayed to talk to Katie. Then Katie's mom came out and basically said, no, Katie was under the impression that he was going to get on the boat with the rest of his friends. Then her sister came out and said the same thing. Then Katie talked to his mama and said the same thing. From my knowledge, he was getting on the boat with his friends. But through this interview, Warren basically said, he began by telling the story that he stayed the night at Wyatt's house, right? Wyatt is a good friend of his. Wyatt was the one who owned the boat, whatever. He claimed he woke up, they went to McDonald's, ate, they hung out, but then he called Burton to see if Burton could bring his boat out because Wyatt's boat was already filled, and that was the boat that Nolan rode on. And so Burton brings his boat out and takes him out there, right? Then they find they find Nolan's body 2 days later. They find his body in the exact same spot that they had been looking in for 2 whole days. So everybody was like, okay, that's weird as hell because how they been looking in this same exact spot for 2 days and not see his body? How did he drown? And there was thousands of people out there and nobody saw him drown. On top of that, they discovered that 2 sets or 2 different groups of people stayed on the island that night, overnight with tents, right? So They camped out. So they already knew 2 separate groups was on Horn Island. They didn't see him drowning or in distress at all. But some kind of way, they find the body 2 days later in the same exact spot they had been looking in. All right. Mississippi does their autopsy. They refuse to release their autopsy. Now, the district attorney has come out saying that they're not going to release it to the public. It's sealed. They want the grand jury to look at it. And then once the grand jury look at it, then they may unseal it and release it. Okay? But the family ordered a second independent autopsy, right? They hired B&. Crump. They ordered a second independent autopsy. Colin Kaepernick was the one who paid for it. They got the independent autopsy. They released the findings. When they released the findings, they said that they received Nolan's body with no organs in it. They did say, okay, that's kind of standard to take all the organs out. But if a second autopsy is ordered, then they would take those organs, sit them in a bag, and sit the bag inside of the body and then send the body out. But they didn't do that, right? On top of that, his throat was missing. So they didn't send the throat. That was something else that was weird to everybody. And he had subcutaneous muscle damage to the back of his head. The person who performed the second autopsy doesn't really know where that came from because he doesn't have the throat and the rest of the body. So really, they sent them like an incomplete body, and they really could only do an incomplete autopsy. All right. Now this friend who they sent to this cop, yes, Officer Tatum. Now this is one of y'all people. He's from Fort Worth. Okay. Officer Tatum is from Fort Worth. Now, something else that came up was the fact that at first they were saying they ain't know Katie. They didn't know who the hell Katie was. They would just meet her the first day. Then he said in the interview that Katie hit up one of the friends the next day. I thought y'all ain't know her. So we was all kind of confused about, I thought y'all didn't know Katie. And all of a sudden y'all know Katie. And y'all have text messages. He said he had a screenshot of Katie's message. Now, Officer Tatum then took his coon ass all the way to Horn Island. He done traveled from Fort Worth to Ocean Springs, Mississippi, and then left Ocean Springs, Mississippi on the boat to travel to Horn Island to show us Horn Island, but didn't show us a screenshot of Katie. I think that's weird. Another thing that was weird, because of the Blige pump was, supposedly messed up, and the boat was supposedly filling with water, right? So they called for the boat to get towed in. Now they released the movements of the boat, the GPS coordinates of everywhere the boat traveled. Okay. So that's a whole nother little story within itself. We'll get back to that, but hopefully you a little caught up. Now, like I said, Southern Gal, Katie's interview we're gonna play next. Okay, I think she's the one who came and sat down with Officer Tatum as well. It's definitely a female, and I want to say it's Katie. All right. So once we listen to this, we're gonna go right on over there to that. Unless y'all want to hear Katie first and then come back to him. Y'all let me know in the chat. But this one I already pulled up, so I'm gonna hit play.
And Nolan didn't ask for his phone, and his keys were not on the boat because his car was parked at my buddy's house where we had all slept, the night before the 4th. And so the keys were left at the house because Nolan's car was at my buddy's house where we stayed at. So of course he left his keys there. But his phone, he was drinking. He didn't have his phone in the water because no one did. And there was more than just Nolan's phone that wasn't on the boat with us.
So it was more than just Nolan's phone that was on the boat.
Yeah, we obviously had all our phones, but on the boat. But those weren't the only people. Like Nolan wasn't the only person that left a phone on the boat. There was a lot of people that left phones on the boat, not that didn't ride out or in with us. So we there was a couple phones that we had that we didn't know who they belonged to, and my buddies got that figured out, but it wasn't just Nolan's phone that was on the boat that who wasn't there. There was a lot of phones.
So when they barged in, they started getting frantic. the mom asked for Nolan's phone.
Right.
Was there a struggle over it, or did you guys hand it over?
I mean, just handed it over. I mean, we didn't think anything of it. Like, she asked for Nolan's phone. We knew they were close friends with, the Wells family, and my buddy went out to his truck and handed the phone over. No complications, no issue, nothing. But I mean, I told Miss Christine that we had his phone and he had left it in our possession on the boat.
When did you? Miss Christine is Nola's mom.
Correct.
When did you talk to her about that?
When I was on, no, I didn't talk to her once. Like, it was like 12:30. I mean, I might have texted her a couple times and talked briefly about a couple things, but I told her on the phone before I called the Coast Guard that we had Nolan's phone. Before I called Miss Christine, I asked, I was like, oh, well, where's his location at? Because Nolan had his.
Okay, so let's point out the inconsistency with KayDae, though, right? Because he told us that KayDae was cradled up in Nolan's arms when Wyatt screamed to him and said, Nolan, get on the fucking boat. Something's wrong with the boat. Get on the fucking boat. Right? That was in the previous interview. And he said, Nolan said, nah, I'm going to stay here. So if KayDae heard him say that he was going to stay on the island, why did she come out saying that she was under the impression that he was getting back on the boat with his friends? So either their line or KayDae's line. Okay, but we're going to listen to what KayDae had to say after this.
His Snapchat location on for me. And he said, it's Wyatt said it's, in my truck. Like, because everybody who left stuff on the boat, it was Wyatt's boat. So Wyatt put it in his truck, it's normal. And so the phone was in possession in Wyatt's truck. And when that mom came over and asked for it, there was no issue at all with us giving the phone to her. I mean, Nolan just left it on the boat. We handed the phone to her that night of the 4th of July.
And did you guys go through the phone, or?
Of course not. I mean, none of us had a reason to go through Nolan's phone. I mean, there's multiple phones on the boat. Why would it be? And the boat was having issues. Why would our concern be getting on Nolan's phone or something? I mean, I don't even know Nolan's password. None of my friends do. We had no reason ever to get on Nolan's phone and look at anything. I didn't even touch Nolan's phone. None of us touched Nolan's phone until somebody took it off.
Now, I have my own theory on how they got in the phone. Because y'all still had Nolan's body. And y'all used that Face ID. So I'm waiting on it to be confirmation that he had an iPhone. I don't know if he had an iPhone or Android, but if he had an iPhone, I'm under the belief that y'all use his Face ID to unlock that phone, in my opinion. Salute to, let me go back up to it. Salute to Certified 1025 for the 550 jewels. Yes, the timeline is most definitely important, country. Let me see. They never called a Coast Guard, I thought. So that's the thing. They did. Now, it came out later that the grandfather called and told the Coast Guard, don't worry about them. They're fine. Don't send nobody out there to them. They're fine. But the GPS says that the boat was towed in. So I'm still confused about whether the Coast Guard came or not. But in that same recording of the Coast Guard, is the same recording where when they first released the audio from the Coast Guard, they picked up from the guy that was talking, right? Whatever friend made the call, they picked up from that. Well, now they have released the whole recording. And before the Coast Guard even picked up the phone, I guess it was already recording or she hadn't said hello. And they were in the background screaming to Nolan saying, Nolan, don't die. We're going to play that as well. So let's get into it. Salute to SD for the 10 jewels. Let's go. Not happy poop. Let's go though.
The boat and put it in Wyatt's truck, and then no one touched it until we handed it back, to the mom that was at my buddy's house.
Was that the only phone that she picked up, or was it other people's phone that they came and got? Or
that I know of, I think that was the only one that she had. But I'm not completely sure. I think that's the only one that she took Nolan's. That's it.
And so we're on the 4th, where the night, probably going into the morning of the 5th, this happens. Then the dad comes back at some point to get the keys.
Right.
What happened there? When was this and what happened?
Well, my buddy Brooks drove me and dropped me off at my house, and I woke up to a text the next morning that Miss Christina texted me, and she said, "Hey, Nolan's dad's there is there at my buddy's house to pick up the keys." And you know, I didn't think anything of it. I told her that I was praying for her, and you know that we were out there and we were doing everything that we could to help out.
And when he came to pick the keys up, was there a confrontation on? Because I could have sworn I saw on the news that when he came to pick the keys up, it was almost like an altercation because you guys didn't want to give the keys over, or you didn't know where the keys were at?
I mean, no, absolutely not. I mean, I wasn't there, but from what my friend told me, they just had to look for Nolan's keys. It's not like, why would we be hiding Nolan?
Okay, so you weren't there. So you didn't see. So you don't know whether there was a confrontation behind the keys or not. You're going off of your lying ass friends. Okay? It's obvious that y'all be lying anyways. What's up, Jelly? I saw your live earlier too, girl. Let's motherfucking go. Okay? Yeah, I seen you. But yeah, so how you gonna speak to what the hell happened if you don't know? Talking about your lying ass friends lied to you? Okay.
Nolan's keys. There's no reason to hide anything. You know, this is our friend. We have nothing to hide. I mean, we were trying to help, do everything that we could to help out.
All right, so I want to be clear with this one thing, because I know you mentioned before that you have no reason to touch the phone. Obviously, you didn't touch the phone.
Right.
But is there any chance or any knowledge that you have that anybody deleted stuff from his phone?
Absolutely not. I mean, like I said, there was no reason for us to get on Nolan's phone. No one touched Nolan's phone, but nothing. If none of us had touched Nolan's phone, then there's no reason for anything to be deleted. I mean, no one even was in contact with his phone until it was moved from the boat to the truck, and none of us have access to Nolan's password to get on his phone and delete anything. Absolutely not. And we have no reason to delete anything. I mean, there's nothing to hide here. I mean, we have had no reason to delete anything, and we never did. All
right, so I have something I want to make sure that we're clear about, because you had mentioned earlier that you saw Nolan cradling Katie.
Right.
Her name is Katie.
Yeah, Katie.
I just want you to explain, what does that mean? Some people in their mind, they may think he's cradling like a baby.
Yeah.
Like what is that scenario look like?
He was. I mean, Nolan was off. The last time I saw him, like I said, I was off the bow of the boat, and like I said earlier, if you had jumped off the bow of the boat, you were probably about chest or neck deep in water. So Nolan wasn't like carrying her out the water. She's sitting in the water, and Nolan's arms are under the water, and he's carrying her from under the water. But her head's still out of the water. Nolan's head's still out of the water. And I was looking at both of them. So.
Oh, so he's kind of like holding her.
Right.
Kind of like,
in the water, though.
Like we grown, right? There's two people in the water. They feeling each other.
Right.
Like meaning feeling they like each other.
Right.
And
that was obvious.
He's a little more close to her, and they're kind of having a moment.
Correct.
Not saying and not insinuating that it's sexual, but
no, of course not. Yeah.
They're together. They like each other. You looking at him, you like, bro, you crazy, because you know that he like her and he's hanging out with her.
Yeah, right, exactly.
That makes sense. And when was the last time that you saw Nolan? And then when was the last time that someone reported to you that Nolan was seen? Okay. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
You saw him at a certain point, but then someone else saw him a lot later when you guys were gone.
Right. Okay. So the last time I personally laid eyes on Nolan was at like 3:00, and he was, in front of the boat with the girl, and that's the last time I saw him. But there were, I've talked to somebody personally that saw Nolan at 6:00, and someone, we weren't even the last people to see Nolan. Once we left, there was still dozens on dozens.
Okay, so now he tells us that the latest that anyone saw Nolan was 6 p.m. Who saw him at 6 p.m.? Because nobody has come out saying that they laid eyes on him at 6 p.m. Where was he? Was he still on Horn Island when they saw him? Like, this is totally new information, y'all. So now somebody saw him as late as 6 o'clock, and they were already gone. The last time he laid eyes on him was 3 o'clock. And he also claims that he got on the boat with Wyatt now. So he would have been in the boat that was allegedly towed in. And that boat left at around 4:31 p.m. So who saw him at 6 o'clock?
Dozens on dozens of boats around us. And I mean, clearly we were not the last people to see Nolan.
So Warren, I'm going to ask you some very pointed questions. I mean, just straight out.
Okay.
I didn't come down here to, do anything other but to get the truth,
right,
and for you to have a voice in this.
Right.
And the first thing I want to ask you is, did you kill Nolan?
Of course not.
Did you have anything to do with Nolan's death?
Of course not. And absolutely not.
They say that you guys deleted stuff out of his phone. Did you delete anything out of Nolan's phone?
No, of course not.
So you want to start a podcast, but you're not sure how. Riverside's got you covered. First, go to riverside.com and open an account. And when you're ready to record,
the mom act like, or at least she portrayed on television, and the rumors are that you weren't really good friends with Nolan. Is that true or not?
Absolutely not. I hung out with Nolan probably like 3 days a week. I mean, seriously, at least. Some days my friends want to hang out every single day, and Nolan was always there. So,
and obviously people may see this and know the facts later,
right,
that you weren't able to go to the funeral,
mm-hmm,
or the memorial service.
Right.
Why didn't you go? What was that?
Well, I mean, with everything going on social media right now, with people saying the crazy things that they're saying, I would never want to take the attention off of Nolan and his family. They don't deserve that. And, for own personal reasons, I mean, I've gotten thousands of death threats. My family's got thousands of death threats. And, for my own safety, I'm not going to put my own health and safety at risk. It breaks my heart that I can't go, and it hurt me more than anything, because obviously I want to say my last goodbyes to one of my best friends. But I mean, if I'm getting thousands of death threats of people saying they're going to kill me and do crazy things to my family and I couldn't bring myself to go, because, I got to put my own safety first. And even if that means, missing my friend's funeral, I mean,
he previously said that Nolan was like a brother to him. This was his brother. So you missed your brother's funeral because people thought or was threatening you, as if the family hasn't been being threatened this whole entire time. Because Miss Christine put out the threats that was made on her life, and she didn't skip out on her son's funeral. But you, his brother, did, because of threats. Okay. Yeah.
It's horrible, and I wish I could have been there, but that's what's been going on,
And you guys, I think this is the first time that you've publicly gave a statement about this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And obviously you're doing it with me. We're gonna put it out there for the world. Why did you choose to do it now? And why did you choose to not speak to anybody but me?
Right. Okay. Well, Officer Tatum, I've been watching you for a good while now. And, I think you're a great guy. You've kind of, ever since things got really hot, you've kind of been on my friends and I's side. And I really like that about you. I mean, I thought you were very confident, well-spoken, and I really enjoyed that. And all my friends and I watch you. We all think you're great. We love your faith with the Lord. We try to be closer and closer with the Lord every day. And so did Nolan, and, that we just really liked the way you spoke about us and how you took our side, not based off someone's agenda and, based off of race. Cause I mean, that's a horrible thing,
Was this about race? Did this have anything to do with race as far as from your perspective?
Absolutely not. I mean, Nolan's been a great friend of mine since 8th grade. Nolan isn't my only friend of color. And, you know, I have plenty of friends through high school and friends I have now, not just Nolan, who are Black, Mexican. You know, I've never looked at that, and none of my friends ever have. Like, and if you do, you know, that's disgusting, you know?
And if you had a chance to, you know, tell the world that have painted this picture of you and your friends as being potential murderers of Nolan, white supremacists, racists, what would you want the world to know if you can summarize to them in a very short paragraph or a few sentences?
Yeah.
What would you want to say to them if you had the opportunity?
I would want to say to them that my family and I are praying for y'all. You know, I can never bring myself to tell somebody that I'm going to kill them, and that I'm going to, you know, like I've received, and my family's received, absolutely horrible threats about this. And, you know, I want people to know that our faith with the Lord is stronger and means more to us than anything. And we all trust in the Lord, and for the Lord to reveal the truth. And I know that's what will happen because I have faith and my family has faith. But I want people to know that I'm praying for them. And if they want to speak hate and speak, you know, these horrible things, then, I mean, you're obviously not in the right state of mind, and you need to work on yourself. It's a horrible thing. And, you know, but race was never a thing between Nolan and I and my friends. I mean, I have friends in my friend group that are Mexican and, you know, mixed, Black. I mean, that's never mattered. And I think it's just absolutely disgusting that people try to make this narrative out of something that it's absolutely not, first off, and out of something that they have zero facts about. Jackson County hasn't released any facts. There haven't been any facts about this case other than that, you know, just timelines and, you know, stuff like that. But it's horrible that people have made this out to be something that it's absolutely not. And it's disgusting, in my opinion.
Was Nolan the only Black person on that island?
Absolutely not. I saw a lot of Black people. And like I said, I mean, you know, it's not pointing out or anything. I mean, I wasn't looking at that, but my buddy Trayson was out there, and, you know, he's mixed. Javon was out there. He's came out. He's mixed. I know a bunch of my friends that are Black that were out there that day that I haven't even mentioned. I mean, Nolan was not the only Black person out there, by no means. I mean, like, there was thousands of people out there, white, Mexican, Black, you know, everyone, you know.
And in the friend group, is Nolan the only Black person in the friend group?
Absolutely not. My buddy Trayson's Black. You know, I have other friends of color. I mean, our friend group is very tight, and, you know, we have not a small group of guys, but we have 10 to 12 guys in my friend group, and, you know, we're all from Ocean Springs, and, you know, we grew up together. But Nolan is not the only Black guy in my friend group by any means, and everybody knows that.
There's controversy around the CETO.
Okay, so we're going to pause it right there, and we're going to go straight to the audio. All right? We're going to go straight to the new audio that came out, because I want y'all to hear what came out in that audio. I want y'all to hear what I heard, and then I'm going to see if y'all heard what I heard. Okay? So I'm about to pull that up. Yeah. I want y'all to hear that. It's not a 911 call, y'all, but this is when they called to get this boat allegedly towed in. Okay? All right, so I need everybody to put their best listening gear on. Your headphones, your earphones, everything you got. I need y'all to be ears locked to the audio, because we need to break down this goddamn audio, okay? Also, I'm gonna see if I could put the words on the screen. Okay, let's see if it'll. Okay, so good. Listen, we got the words on the screen. Let's go. All right, let's listen. So the words on the screen should help us out a lot. All right, I'm about to hit play.
How can I help you? Hello, sir.
Hello. Okay.
How many adults on board?
There's 0 adults on board.
There's nobody on board the boat?
No. Nobody
right.
here is over the age of 21.
Sir, that was not the question. Is there a person? Is there a person, a living individual on the boat?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles?
What'd you say? Hey.
Yes, how far is the water coming up, sir?
It's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now.
All right, well, let's get you going. Membership number or phone number listed on the account, sir?
I don't know the phone number. It's either Jerry Atkerson. I think it's Jerry Atkerson. Try that.
All right.
I know we have a membership, like guaranteed. I don't have the tag
Unless
on
you
here.
have a
It got ripped
membership
off.
number or anything, it's okay. I'll get you over to the captain. What's the best phone number to reach you at?
Reach me at 2.
All right. And is everybody on board in good health otherwise?
Yeah, everybody's
How
on
many?
board.
All right. Do you need the United States Coast Guard?
What?
Do you need the United States Coast Guard?
No, we do not need that.
All right. All right. Do you have your current GPS coordinates?
Let me go look.
If not, I can send you a text message.
All right, are you ready?
Okay, y'all have to try to concentrate on what's going on in the background. Okay, so I'm gonna start it over, but try to concentrate on what's going on in the background, the things that the friends are saying while he's on the phone.
Vicky speaking. How can I help you? Hello, sir.
Hello. Okay.
How many adults on board?
There's 0 adults on board.
There's nobody on board the boat?
No. Nobody
right.
here is over the age of 21.
Sir, that was not the question. Is there a person? Is there a person, a living individual on the boat?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles?
Right there. Okay, so let's try to listen to the background again.
Please come. We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description?
Is someone saying get the fuck up?
Ankles?
We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles?
What'd you say? Hey.
Yes. How far is the water coming up, sir?
It's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now.
All right. Well, let's get you going. Membership number or phone number listed on the account, sir?
I don't know the phone number. It's either Jerry Atkerson. I think it's Jerry Atkerson. Try that.
All right.
I know we have a membership, like guaranteed. I don't have the tag
Unless
on
you
here.
have a
It got ripped
membership
off.
number or anything, it's okay. I'll get you over to the captain. What's the best phone number to reach you at?
Reach me at 2.
All right. And is everybody on board in good health otherwise?
Yeah, everybody's
How
on
many?
board.
All right. Do you need the United States Coast Guard?
What?
Do you need the United States Coast Guard?
No, we do not need that.
All right. All right. Do you have your current GPS coordinates?
Let me go look.
If not, I can send you a text message.
North, are you ready?
Yes, sir, I'm available.
North 30 degrees by 46.72.
All right, 4672. All right, and you were breaking up a little bit. Can you just repeat it one more time to make sure I have it correct?
Sorry, look. What
Hello,
do I
can
need
you
to
hear
send
me?
Yeah, what?
So you're breaking up. If you need assistance, do you have a VHF radio?
No, we do not have the VHF radio.
All right, well, let's try to get you going because you don't have good cell phone reception. Can you verify your coordinates one more time?
Okay, my coordinates are 30 degrees by 14.684 north, and then west by 88 degrees by 46.79.
Right, it looks like you're on Horn Island.
Okay, so while y'all were listening to that, I found clearer audio. So let me take this off, and we're going to listen to the clearer version. All right, we exploring all avenues today. And they most definitely was drunk. And they up in there holler about something. Wasn't nobody over 21 on the boat. So y'all basically behind the wheel, drunk as hell, all of y'all under the age of 21. The Coast Guard should have came and arrested they fucking heads, if you ask me. All right. I got it pulled up. Let me see if I got the words on the screen. All right. So let me pull it up for y'all. Put it on the screen for y'all. All right. So y'all listen to this one in comparison to that one. We're gonna see what we come up on.
Connection.
Tito Assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Okay, y'all. Okay. So y'all can hear his name clearly in this audio. Now, it's some discrepancies in, I want to say they called the Coast Guard twice because one of those times it was canceled. Now, if you listening to this one before, so it was recording before the lady got a chance to really get her words out, and you can hear them talking before she even comes on. And you can tell that this is a different operator. I think she said her name was Vicky. I don't think this sounds like the other one. So.
Tito Assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
Official.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles?
Now y'all see what I'm saying? You can hear in the background, Nolan, get up. Oh my God. Nolan, get the fuck up. So this is apparently another call because you can tell it's the same dude talking, but it's not the same operator. And he's the one who mentioned membership this time. In that first call, they asked, do you have a membership? What's the membership number? In this call, he says, can you come help? We have a membership. Something's wrong with the blige pump or the bleach pump, whichever one it is. So we know that these are the same callers because it's the same exact thing that's wrong. But now all of a sudden you hear them in the background. So y'all tell me what y'all think.
Detail assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles?
What'd you say? Hey.
Yes. How far is the water coming up, sir?
It's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now.
I'm about to pull it back up. But it's quite clear to me. No lie, it's quite clear to me. Hold on. Let me go on the smaller screen. All right. I do not know why my laptop is moving so goddamn slow. I guess this is a lot of information for the damn laptop too, shit. Come on here. No, this is not the video I want. This ain't it. Shit.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is base 44. Just
all right. Let me remove it from the screen, y'all, so I can pull it up. Give me 1 second. And I'll just go to the history. How about that? All right. All right, y'all. Here we go. If they take me to Tisa Tales one more goddamn time. Get that by there.
Detail assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir?
Nolan,
can you give me a description? Ankles? Hello?
Hey,
Yes. How far is the water coming up, sir?
it's coming up. We're just thinking. I don't know. Like we're just.
Chico, assistant, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Porn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles? Hello?
Hey.
Yes. How far is the water coming up, sir?
It's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now.
Chico, assistant, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Porn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up?
All right, y'all. So it seems to me that the audio is pretty clear. I'm just wondering, why isn't this audio everywhere? Like, I've been seeing it, but it's like I damn near feel like some arrest should have been made just off this audio, period, or like some verification letting us know that the audio is for real. Like, it's so much secretive stuff going on when it comes to this. Let me remove this and let's go to the interview that I think it was PayDae, y'all. So we're gonna go to that. Hold on. Let me pull up my playlist again. A female did an interview with Officer Tatum after Warren's interview, and I want to say it's PayDae, but we about to make sure. Oh, my laptop making me mad, y'all. This is crazy though. And we just finding out that Nolan Wills had his grandmother's name, and his grandmother was a big activist in Mississippi. So now they're saying that this might be payback for that. I don't know. That's some other information that's been coming out as it pertains to his last name. It is his grandmother on his dad's side. It was his dad's mom. So that's why he has a different last name than his parents. They chose to give him. I wonder did they give the other kids their last name though? Because they have other kids. Y'all, I'm sorry. It's my laptop, not me. Just taking all dang on day. PayDae didn't interview, I believe, a message, right, PayDae? No, so they have a new interview that dropped, and I think it was PayDae's. Let me go to Officer Tatum page. Because he was the one who posted it. Now Tristan sat down and he was the one who did part 5. what he called Miss Christine a lie, basically. All right. Let's see. Okay, lies on his legacy. Nolan Wells on the island. I hope he ain't deleted, because it most definitely was on here. Okay. All right. So let's see what this one says. I want to say this is a picture of Katie on the thumbnail.
Perfect. And we don't do this just to get a pat on the back. We do it because we came here to win. And it starts with you understanding that God has a purpose. This is a time to be more bold than ever before. All Americans at the end of
the title says New Witness in Nolan Case Speaks Out. It has a female on the thumbnail. So let's see.
Today, we should love one another. We should be focused on what's right for our country. All right, ladies and gentlemen, ladies, welcome back to the Officer Tatum Show. I'm going to get right into this, but if you have any questions about the case that you think we haven't covered yet, please ask me these.
Oh, hey, female duck. Salute. I don't know why I just stopped.
Questions in this live stream. I got a limited amount of time. I got another interview I have to do, so I'm going to get right into it. But if you have questions pending, Grant is going to pose the question to me so I can answer real quick, and then we're going to go to the haters, and then that's going to be the show for the day. And I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. But let's start. First things first, Benjamin Crump. For everybody that said Benjamin Crump wants to get to the bottom of this, he really cares about Nolan Wells' family, I'm telling you guys, they do not care. It's just a money grab. How do you know, Mr. Tatum? Well, then why, when we reached out to Benjamin Crump, that they didn't respond to us, or they made some lame response after our fourth attempt to talk to him? Here's the email. This is the first time we reached out to Benjamin Crump. You can look at the email there, and you know exactly that we reached out to his team. We gave a generic media outreach, where we put the information in there, say, hey, we would love to have an open dialogue. We value the conversation. Here's something that we want to know from his perspective what he has, and we wanted to deliver what we have to him. All right, we did that the first time. Here's the second time. 5 days.
Okay, so you want to say it's all about money for Benjamin Crump. Simultaneously, you're making a whole heap of money off of these friends coming forward. And you flew your bad body ass all the way out there to Ocean Springs, Mississippi to make this shit happen. And then you didn't put this girl on the thumbnail as if we about to hear from her and you about to answer questions. What?
Days later, here's the next one.
Boy, I don't want to hear
this. He calls back a second time and he had a 5-minute conversation with her, as you can see right here on the call log. And then immediately, after telling his mom, hey, we don't know where Nolan's at. Have you heard from Nolan? Immediately afterwards, I think probably 2 minutes after.
Yes. On the next one? Yeah, 13. So literally after the 5-minute call, it was probably about a minute, give or take.
So about a minute or so after he had tried to communicate with Nolan's mom, who does he call? He called the Coast Guard. He called before Nolan's mother called, before any of the other friends, and I'm doing this in quotations, meaning that they are categorizing these people as his close friends. None of them called. None of them. I don't know if they didn't care. Or they
none
just
of them were with.
First of all,
none of them were with him. If you're referring to Javon and Javon's brother and Christine's friend who ended up going to pick up the phone, they weren't around him to know that he was missing to call his mama. So you're damn right. We was looking for the friends who was with him to be calling and asking about him. What are we talking about?
wasn't coming to where they supposed to be at, he called the Coast Guard right here.
It's also important to note that these are screen caps from Warren's phone sent to us directly.
Yeah, the screenshots from Warren's phone sent to us directly. We saw them live, and then we took the screenshots.
Okay, so
to
can
show
we
you
get
guys
the
so you
screenshot
know
of
that.
Katie?
And we blurred the numbers out because we
Y'all
don't want to
claim
put
y'all
these numbers
had it.
out there online. But these are the actual phone call records. And then here is aerial view. People were saying this was a secluded island. Benjamin Crump them came out and act like this was, and I know for a fact, all of you guys that are listening, I know when you first heard this, I know you were thinking the same thing I was thinking. I thought they went out to a secluded island.
Yep.
He said that he went out with white boys, his 4 friends or so, and he didn't come home. And somehow there was a girl that seen him, as if it was, I don't know, 10, 15 people at this island or less.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this video. This was sent to us by a pilot who rode over the island and took a picture and captured it. Every little dot that you see on the screen, which there has to be hundreds of boats on the top side, which is the northern side up.
Sir, we knew this. It still is a secluded island. Do y'all not see this island sitting in a big the island sitting in this big body of water that you have to get there by boat? There's no civilization there. No one lives there. You have to go by boat to make it to this island. That's called a secluded island, sir. It's not secluded on this day because everybody's there for the 4th of July. What the hell is this man talking about?
Of Horn Island. And then there's probably about 30, 40 boats on the south side of Horn Island. And then all the streaking that you see inside of this picture, which could be another 40 boats or so, or maybe a little less than that. I mean, it could be like 20, 30 boats, are all boats that are coming and going from the island. You think thousands of people are there, hundreds of boats, saturated with people coming and going from the island. And so therefore, when you see...
Sir, that's what makes these boys' story so suspicious. It's because it was thousands of people there, and they're claiming that he drowned. Everybody was claiming that he drowned at first. The sheriff took one look at Nolan's body and said, oh, it was obviously an accidental drowning. Did we forget? If it was an accidental drowning, why y'all didn't show us the autopsy with the water in the lungs showing that he drowned? Why the autopsy got to go through the grand jury before it could be unsealed for the public? This makes their story 10 times worse. It was thousands of people there, and nobody saw where Nolan went. Nobody saw where Nolan ended up. None of the friends can say, oh, Nolan rode on the boat with us back. Like, make it make sense.
Nolan and the friends say, people are coming and going. If you want to go and come, you come with somebody, go back with another person. So you see the traffic of how many people are coming and going from this island. Nolan clearly could have went with somebody if he did not go with the people he came on the boat with.
Something that's important to note as well is
what did he end up doing? If it was obvious that he could have just rolled back with anybody, what did he end up doing? Where did he end up? That's what we're trying to figure out. How was he found 2 days later in the same spot everybody was looking in? Oh, see, this gonna make my nerves bad.
The narrative is this is a remote island, in the middle of the ocean. It's very small. It is about 10 to 12 miles long.
Yeah.
And you can see it from shore. Yeah. You can visit without binoculars. You can see the island.
Yeah. Where we were staying, we went to Mississippi. We could see it in the distance.
Yep.
You see about 7, 8 miles out. We were a lot closer to the island than they were when they docked and came in. Here's another item of evidence that I think is important for us to debunk, and that is this photo right here. People are still using the photo. Some nut job on Instagram the other day, and I don't know why people still follow these people because they're liars and they're evil. Because Nolan, or not Nolan, but Warren was on my podcast and said, hey, I was the guy that had my arm around Nolan in this picture, which tells you that how close friends they were.
Yep.
This is a week before at an event, and Nolan is out there with all his white friends. And they were saying, oh, this was the day of. Benjamin.
When has a picture been able to show us a friendship? When have we been able to look at a picture and be like, oh, it's obvious how close they were because he was at the party with all his white friends a week before? Sir, that proves nothing. I hate to even listen to this man talk.
Crump pushed that this was the day of.
Yes.
And
Benjamin Crump didn't push anything. He reshared a post.
Here's a screenshot of the actual incident, timestamped by the guy who actually took the photo. And what does it say?
Okay,
June the
thank you.
27th.
Okay, thank you. So now can we see the screenshot that y'all have of Katie confirming what Warren said? Because you showed us the screenshot of him calling Christine, Nolan's mom. You also showed us a screenshot of the emails where y'all reached out to Benjamin Crump. But Katie was right there, and y'all have a screenshot of Katie confirming, but we can't see it. I'm confused.
At 11:58 p.m.
Debunks the idea that this is somehow associated with the day he was killed or he died in a drowning or whatever happened to Nolan.
And the other thing that's important, obviously we have the timestamp, but also too, a lot of people were saying, oh, the USA in the guy's chest hair. We talked, Nick and I actually sat with Warren at dinner and we brought that USA chest hair stuff up. And based on what Warren said, which is they were so excited for the 4th of July, he preemptively did it as, he's just excited.
So people who say that that's, clearly on the 4th of July, no, they were enthusiastic about this event for weeks.
They had made mention that they had been excited about this from last year,
yes,
July the 5th.
Yep.
Meaning that the day after July the 4th, because they all went to the island last year together.
Yes.
But nobody's talking about that. All of a sudden, they went and killed him this year, but last year, they all went to the island, nobody mentioned it.
Before we get into the Christine stuff that we're going to talk about, we were going to present some text messages from the Katie. The Katie that, everyone's talking about who was with Nolan.
Who was, people say potentially last seen. We don't know. That's alleged. But we were going to show these text messages.
Okay.
But we decided what, Brandon?
Well, we wanted to talk to Katie first.
Yes.
Because in due diligence, we spoke to all the other kids that were involved in this allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually had a sit-down interview with Warren and Tristan. And therefore, we feel very comfortable sharing the messages and stuff they gave us because we actually talked to them and got the context around it. And so we have the text messages from Katie, and I could give you a synopsis, but I didn't want to put it on the screen because I didn't want anybody taking her out of context or anything of that nature. If Katie wants to come forward and talk to us about it, we'll treat her with the same level of respect and dignity as everybody else, and then we'll present those at the time as evidence. We do have the text. I will tell you what the text say, in a synopsis, but I don't want to put her text and stuff out there without talking to her first and giving her the opportunity to present
as much context as she needs. And because I think it's not going to be as thorough if we just put it up on the screen.
Yeah.
And she may have tons more information about it.
So Katie, if you're watching this, anybody that know Katie, we will treat you with the same level of respect and
So basically, y'all want to take this opportunity to try to get Katie to come up and do an interview with you. But Ben Crump is the one who is trying to make all this money off of this. Not you. Not you. You don't care. You don't care about the money. But you want Katie to come sit down and talk to you so she can give context to the screenshot. But yet, you didn't call Christine, Nolan Wells' mom, to give context to the phone call. Or Ben Crump to give context to the email. But now you can't put it on the screen because you need Katie to come and sit down and talk. Yeah, I'm convinced y'all been threatening Katie any goddamn way. That's why Katie don't want to talk. Because this is crazy. So they basically not going to show us the message.
Dignity as we did everybody else. Be cognizant of interviewing you.
And if you have a lawyer or something, we'll consult and do everything to make sure that we protect you and protect anybody that you may mention so nobody gets sued and none of the other stuff. So, Katie, you can reach out to us at tips@theofficertatum.com, tips@theofficertatum.com. I think we got a phone number or something like that. You can text us on our phone line, 480-788-1858.
Perfect.
All right, let's get to
Christine said that no one had reached out to her from the boys or the family.
That's right. Christine, which is Nolan's mother, said, and we got evidence of her saying this.
Yes.
She said, and this is the part that bothers me because I don't know if she intentionally did this in a malicious way, which will make me lose a tremendous amount of respect for her, or are these hood knuckle dragging thugs
who are siphoning money out the black community, leveraging young brothers' deaths, convinced her to.
I can't listen to him no more. Now, I did receive a video where Tisa Tells is talking about the 911 call being the boy's alibi. But she's live currently, right? So I do not want to stream her live while she's live. But she did do a video before that one that's not live that we can take a look at, and it's pertaining to the same stuff. I would be more comfortable doing that than streaming her live while she's live, because y'all already know that's just one of my rules. I don't want nobody streaming me while I'm live. Now, I don't care. Once the live end, I don't care who plays it. I don't care if we don't get along. I don't care if we don't like each other. I don't care about it being played. You know what I'm saying? I do reaction videos on a lot of people's content, so I'm not that selfish with my content. I don't care. My only rule is not streaming it while I'm live. So, you know, respect for another content creator, I won't do that. But there is some other important information that she, yes, Raps next. She most definitely is on it as well. So let me go to another one that interests me, and then we'll come back to Tisa Tells. We'll let her end her show. You know what I'm saying, I like to be fair and give everybody the numbers that they deserve, as opposed to trying to split their numbers. All right. All right. So we're most definitely about to review this one.
Hey guys, listen, we have late night.
All right. I got it pulled up. Let me put it on the screen for y'all.
Breaking news on the Nolan Wells case, and this one actually might crack the case open. If you guys don't know, right, Officer
Django, aka Tatum, issued a part 3 of an interview with Warren. Okay, now hear me out, because I guarantee this is going to be something you have not heard from anybody in a different angle. He talks about Nolan's last moments. He also talks about Katie, but he gives more insight. And of course, he looks guiltier. But you guys, I think there is a scenario that everybody's missing. And I think this is a scenario that combines all of their stories with the truth and points to the one question nobody's been asking. How did that pump get broken? I repeat, how did the pump get broken? Because all these theories about a fight that happened over the boat, and I believe it was a woman, a girl, over Katie. I'm going to give you guys the receipts to see what you think. You guys, I think we are getting closer and closer and closer to the truth. Now, let's read the article that TMZ just posted. As you know, they literally just posted part 3. Nolan Wells' friend says we thought he'd passed out on somebody's couch. Now, hear me out before I give my theory on the boat pump, okay? Listen to this. Nolan Wells' best friend said he didn't understand the initial panic of others searching for him because he just assumed he passed out on someone's couch. Now, this is Warren Hudson saying this. Warren Hudson laid out the hours after Nolan's disappearance during an interview with the Officer Tatum show, revealing one of his pals with who he had returned from Horn Island got an agitated phone call around 12:30 a.m. July 5th, hours after they'd last seen Nolan. About 30 minutes later, Warren says a group of 10 people or so slammed open the door to the house where they were staying, clearly freaking out after not having heard from Nolan. Warren says a dude he knew from high school was with this group. He stepped outside with that guy who he says told him he thought Nolan had probably just crashed on someone's couch, which Warren agreed with. Warren notes Nolan had gotten intoxicated. We have only Warren's word for this, and we're waiting for toxicology reports, so take this with a grain of salt, okay? I'm just giving you Warren's story before we rip it apart.
Okay, so Warren said that Nolan had been drinking, but then the Cajun Navy came out saying that his blood alcohol level was fine. He was fine. But keep in mind, the Cajun Navy told us that 2 days later, because the body wasn't found till 2 days later, and if y'all can remember, I ChatGPT'd and Googled if you could get a dead body and tell the blood alcohol level on spot, on scene, and they told us no. So why the Cajun Navy put that out, I don't know, but we still don't have the toxicology report. Okay, so why they would tell us that, I'm so confused by that, but let's go. And hey, Big Stacks.
He thinks Nolan had just gotten intoxicated, so he figured Nolan was just sleeping it off somewhere. He also notes one member of the group, who he describes as Mom, asked for Nolan's phone. Okay, now in that interview, and we'll go over it tomorrow in a live, but in that interview, this is what happened. You called the mom at about 11:07, and you said, "Yo, have you heard from Warren?" Okay. The mom was like, "Nah, why?" He said in the second part of the interview, this is the third part that just got released. He said in the second part of the interview, "Don't worry, okay? We're going to find him." He said, "I told her we're going to find him." He then called the Coast Guard at 11:45 and was on the phone with the Coast Guard for 20 minutes. Now, one would ask, what were you doing? What did you actually say to the Coast Guard for 20 minutes? We'll come back to that. Let's not forget that even though they say their boat was sinking and it was towed, the boat never got towed. The dispatcher clearly said on the call, when she called the captain, while Warren was on the phone acting like he didn't know what was going on, I'm sorry, the Warren's grandfather called and was on the other line saying, "Don't worry about it."
Again, it looks like an alibi call. But can you explain to me this?
Okay, remember I mentioned that earlier on in the live, that the grandfather called and canceled it and said, "Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that boat. They're fine. Leave them be." Okay, so now it boils down to, if the boat was never towed and y'all called twice, like this boat shit is getting confusing as hell, because it should be so simple to let us know whether the boat was towed or not. But I guess the Coast Guard came out saying that the boat was never towed by them. So I guess the GPS of the boat, where it said it was towed, it was never towed. Maybe it just traveled from that spot to that spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe somebody typed in, this is when the boat was towed, but maybe that's just when the boat was moved. You know what I mean? But so now everybody's starting to feel like the boat calls to the Coast Guard was alibi calls. But then we just listened to audio that suggests that Nolan was on the boat and that they were screaming to him not to die.
Put yourself in the mind of an 18, 19-year-old kid, right?
You got some freedom. You got a boat, which out in the Mississippi Delta is like having a nice car. What 19-year-old calls someone's parent? Oh, so I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. Warren also said in the interview, he crashed, went to sleep. And then at 7:30 a.m., he was like, "Oh, damn, ain't no Warren around," right? He said that he actually wasn't even worried about Warren. So let me get this straight. You weren't worried about Warren. You thought everybody was overreacting, but you called a 19-year-old. You called somebody's mom, being like, "Have you seen him?"
I need you to get it together.
Why were you calling around looking for?
I need you to get it together, because you calling Nolan Warren. Warren is the one who was talking, chat. You mean Nolan? He wasn't worried about Nolan.
Nolan. If you didn't think it was a big deal, what do you know how worried you have to be
as a 19-year-old to call somebody's mom? Unless you were establishing an alibi. Unless you were establishing an alibi. Then you call the Coast Guard for 20 minutes. We do not know what was said in that call. But and honestly, did you say he was even missing?
I can kind of see the logic behind it. I'm trying to imagine, okay, first of all, I guess it would be different for females and males. Because if my female friend tried to stay back and talk to some dude that she didn't know, that we all didn't know, then we all staying or you getting on this goddamn boat, girl, because we don't know him. But I guess that wouldn't be the same in the boy's case. It's the girl. You know what I mean? But okay, all right. Let's just say by chance I did let my friend stay behind with old boy. There's no way if I haven't made contact with her once I wake up from my drunk stupor that I wouldn't be worried or trying to figure out where the hell she is. I'm not gonna assume she's somewhere passed out on somebody's couch.
See? Because the Coast Guard didn't mobilize till 10:05 when Nolan's mom reported him
missing at midnight. Then the Coast Guard, for whatever reason, the police sat on it and then called the Coast Guard in the morning, and the Coast Guard mobilized in the morning to go. So let me get this straight. You called a mom at 11:45. I'm sorry, at 11. You called the Coast Guard at 11:45. You then checked notes, called somebody else at 12:30, right? You got an agitated phone call around 12:30 a.m. on July 5th after having last seen Nolan. You went to sleep. No troubles, no worries. You didn't have any trouble or any worries. You went to sleep. And then you're trying to tell us because you didn't think it was a big deal? Then what was the call to the Coast Guard for? And what was the call to Nolan's mama for? To me, it looks like you were setting up alibis. A call for a tow, going to dispatch was the main channel, which you know will be logged in, but then your granddaddy comes from the side and calls the tow truck owner directly on his private line, a line that you know that he knows won't be logged, and your granddaddy says, yeah, I know they're about to call for a tow. Just ignore it. They don't need it. But the dispatcher, and I don't think they knew the dispatcher would call the captain. Okay, we'll go all over this in the live. But do y'all see what I am saying? Which leads me to my point. What could they be covering up? I think they were covering up the fact that something happened to Nolan on that boat. And I think the bilge pump is the key to that. You guys, let's go on a little investigative journey, right? Because I was like, how could a bilge pump on a boat get damaged? Because I was like, this is just so weird. And it got
Okay, so Tisa did some research. It says a physical fight or intense roughhousing on a boat can indeed trigger a chain reaction leading to a serious flooding emergency. Though the damage usually happens indirectly rather than someone physically smashing the bilge pump itself. Okay. Hey, Melanated Jam, baby. Salute. I haven't seen you in a minute. I miss you.
fixed so quick? How could it get damaged? Could a fight?
Could sabotage? What could happen? Listen to what ChatGTP has to say. A physical fight or intense roughhousing on a boat can indeed trigger a chain reaction leading to a serious flooding emergency through the damage is usually happens indirectly rather than someone physically smashing the bilge pump itself. Hold on, you guys. Put this in your scenario. I think we might be on to something. Direct damage versus reality. Can a fight smash a bilge pump? Remember, Nolan had that mark on the back of his head, leading to believe that there was a fight going on. Now, I do have a theory about what the fight was about. Remember when Nolan was on an interview? Well, I'll get to it, right? Directly destroying the bilge pump during a scuffle is unlikely. Bilge pumps are typically housed deep in the bilge sump and at the absolute lowest point on the hull, usually tucked beneath floorboards, engine mounts, and inspection hatches. Shoving someone on the deck or in the cabin won't directly impact the pump itself. However, A physical altercation can easily cause the kind of secondary damage that results in rapid flooding and a distress call. Hold on. There's more.
Okay, this is interesting.
Slamming into thorough halls and seacocks. Both have various intake and discharge fittings.
For sinks, heads, live wells, and engine cooling, below or near waterline. If someone gets slammed violently against a bulkhead, a cabinet, or hole side where these hoses and bronze plastic seacocks are located, a fragile or aged fitting can snap off entirely, letting water pour in at high pressure. Again, when they searched the boats, did they check for any of this? But there's more.
Check this out. I'm going to show you how I afforded this car.
Or straining and clogging the pump. A chaotic struggle in the cabin or the cockpit can easily kick up loose gear, dirt, hair, or trash into the bulge. If that debris gets sucked into the bulge pump's intake strainer, it will instantly clog the impeller, causing the pump to burn out or fail to move water just as it's needed most. Again, if there was a fight on the ship, all right? If there was a fight on the ship, it literally could have secondary caused the clogging of the bilge pump. A heavy impact against electrical panels or battery switches could trip breakers or short out the automatic float switch. If water is already entering the boat from an unrelated leak, a disabled electrical system means the automatic bilge pump won't kick in. Now, this is important to know. If someone stumbles into the helm controls during a scuffle, the boat could violently alter course, strike a dock or shallow rock, and breach the hull. Now, I don't think that happened at all, but my whole point is I want you to imagine how much a little skirmish on the boat for anything could make a difference. It's important to note that the boat rarely sinks just because a bilge pump stops working. And I remember how they were saying, "Oh my God, the boat's sinking." Sinking requires water to be actively entering the hull faster than it can escape. A bilge pump is technically an emergency backup or a way to handle minor condensation and rainwater. It's not designed to keep pace with a gaping hole in the hull. Now,
With that being said, they most definitely made it seem like the boat was filling with water rapidly. Like this wasn't like a slow thing. Like the first thing he said was, "We're sinking." Okay. Also, if y'all can remember, the judge, who is the stepmom of one of the little boys, I don't know which one is her stepson. I wonder if it's Wyatt, but I don't know. They've been very secretive about the names of the people who was on the boat, who rode on the boat with Nolan, except for Wyatt, because it was Wyatt's boat. So that was like something that's always been released. We've been knowing Wyatt's name, but we don't know the name of no other people. Warren claimed he wasn't on the boat coming, but he was on the boat going. But he also claims that Nolan wasn't on the boat with them when they left. But then that phone call discredits that tremendously. Okay. But like I said, they most definitely made it seem like it was an emergency and the boat was sinking. Okay. But then the judge said that this was something that always happened to this particular boat. Like that they always have problems with the bleach pump or whatever it's called. Okay. Y'all can remember her saying like this was a problem that they always have.
Now, again, he's saying it just got clogged and they were taking up water. But keep in mind this, right?
Things that actually cause sinking level bilge and flooding failures. A hose clamp failure, stuffing box and shaft cell failure, or a stuck float slip. Now, remember how they were saying they were taking on water so quickly? According to Gemini, ChatGPT
Nah, Top Flight. Warren is the one who did the interviews. The person who owned the boat was Wyatt. Warren claimed that he rode on the boat with Burton. Remember, he said he woke up with Wyatt. He spent the night at Wyatt's house. Okay. He said he spent the night at Wyatt's house. They woke up, they went and got McDonald's. Then he called Burton because they didn't have any room on Wyatt's boat. Which to me was kind of strange because I would think that the friend that spent the night with me would have first dibs on the boat. So I always thought that was weird. Like maybe, Warren was trying to distance himself from being on that boat going to Horn Island. But I don't know. But I would think that the friend that spent the night with me and woke up with me would have first dibs on my boat that I'm taking out. I wouldn't say, hey, girl, yeah, but ain't no room on my boat. You need to call somebody else. So that was kind of weird to me, but maybe not. I don't know. So anyway, he proceeds to call Burton. Burton brought his boat out. He rode to Horn Island with Burton, not with Nolan. So Nolan was on Wyatt's boat. Okay.
And all these other things, they're saying that a stuck bilge pump does not cause rapid sinking. It has to be something more and something bigger because a bilge pump is a secondary pump on a boat to make sure water doesn't come in, not the first. You would need the failure of the first for it to come in. However, if it was damaged, it could have been easily damaged from a fight and somebody being knocked into stuff, right? Now, here's where it all comes together. And this is just my theory, but I think it's important to share. All right. I think that the reason nothing makes sense is because everybody is trying to make facts fit into a narrative that makes them innocent. Do you see what I'm saying? See, I think that Katie was around. I think that Nolan, I think Warren was there. I think everybody was there. I actually think that the bilge pump.
Now, I don't know if Katie was on that boat, but we most definitely heard females on that boat when that call was made. Okay, we definitely heard females in the background. It was not just males. If that phone call and their audio is legit, then there definitely was some females on that boat. Salute to Rose. Salute, baby. What's up? I think Warren did it. The only person talking, stirring the narrative. Child. Then y'all know Warren mentioned that his younger brother had a fight with someone. That his younger brother was in an altercation with someone. That his younger brother was punched in the face by someone. And his younger brother punched them back. Remember, he said he had to go calm the little brother down and take him into the water and all that. We don't know if that wasn't Nolan that the little brother was fighting. Keep that in mind too.
Got damaged. I don't think enough to sink, but I think there was a fight on the ship, or it could have been, and the
bilge pump got damaged. And they're trying to create a narrative as to why the bilge pump was damaged. Do you see what I'm saying? So there's a fight, all this stuff. They can't say there's a fight. All they can do is make a call saying, oh, my bilge pump's damaged. They can't say, oh, Nolan got thrown into it. Nolan did this, Nolan did that, because then they'd have to explain where Nolan was. So they made a story about, oh my God, the bilge pump got damaged and we think the boat's sinking. And they put in a call to Cito at 4:30 as an alibi. So they would have an alibi as to where they were and what they were doing when around the time that nobody can remember where Nolan was. Now, keep in mind another thing, right? Let me just cook. I'm going somewhere. So again, I think they're all trying to make a narrative. So when they search the boat, how'd this bio pump get broken? Oh no, it's been broken. We were sinking. We were here. We were there. We called for help because we thought we were sinking. But then the grandfather's on the other line being like, yo, don't worry about it. We don't need help. Just ignore their call. But you clearly called to your grandfather and your grandfather told you to call in a dispatch, creating a narrative. And you were using that broken bilge pump, whatever you want to call it. We'll call it the bio pump. You were using that broken pump as your excuse for calling. And that way nobody would actually ask, well, how did the pump get broken? Was it even broken? Something happened. Nolan got that mark in the back of, got that blood in the back. Well, but the bloody tissue in the back of his head. What happened? So what actually happened? Why do I think there was a fight on the boat? I think it all boils down to Katie. Katie's name keeps getting brought up. But more importantly, right? I think it's good in cases to look at what people say and what their words say. I thought it was very, very odd that Warren claimed, right? That Warren claimed that even though the boat was panicking, they were screaming at Nolan, Nolan, get the F on the boat. Get the F on the boat. If there were two other boats around, why would you be screaming at someone to get the F on a sinking boat in 31 feet? But there's more, right? Warren claimed the boat they arrived in was experiencing the issues. They said Warren said no, and there was a conflict over the yelling. But keep in mind, we just found out that all these boats, even Katie's boats, were right next to each other. So explain to me how Katie saw Warren leave, but never saw him get on the boat. His friends saw him go to Katie, but never saw him actually be with Katie. And everybody just act like Nolan just vanished, even though they weren't like a half mile apart or even a 5-minute walk. They were right next to each other, docked next to each other. So why would everybody be in
I'm sorry. At this point, I don't care what nobody say. Like, even the ones who be in my chat that try to discredit something happening to Nolan. This cannot be something that's cut and dry. Y'all have to admit that something fishy happened. What, like, when simple shit happens, it's a simple explanation. When somebody simply drowns, it's a simple explanation. Everybody's seen it. Somebody saw it. Somebody saw him. Like, this is it's too many questions for this to be something simple. The friend's story don't add up. We don't know what the hell Katie got to say. She didn't talk to everybody but the public, but she did talk to Nolan Wells' mom. She did do that. Okay? But it's just so many inconsistencies. So for the people who always like drop in my chat or in other places, like, this is something simple that happened. Like, I'm trying to understand y'all mind frame of making it simple. Like, nothing about this is simple. Between the two autopsies, the first autopsy going through the grand jury and being sealed to the public, to the organs being missing, to his throat being missing, to the subcutaneous muscle damage to the back of his head, to if it was a simple drowning, why the hell we just didn't see that, oh, it was water in the lungs. Like, this is so complex for everybody to be saying like that this is simple. Like, it's not simple. This boy body went missing for 2 whole days. We don't have to all agree, but at least make some sense of it. Like, come on now. A group of friends went to Horn Island and one did not make it back. Somebody knows something. It was thousands of people on the island. Somebody knows something. Between the friends and Katie, somebody got to know fucking something. Either Katie or the friends. Either he got on the boat with Katie or he got on the boat with the friends. But he didn't just stay and hang back at the island and nobody saw nothing, and then his body washed up 2 days later. Like, come on, make it make sense. Like, now it's getting aggravating. Now it's getting aggravating because y'all making it seem like everybody's stupid, slow, retarded, dumb, just because we black.
Involved in this big lie. If it is a lie, well, let me just say this, okay?
And I think it's very important to say.
Tech company Meta has come to Louisiana, creating thousands of jobs and pumping billions into.
In the second part of the interview, Warren said something very interesting. He said, Nolan was cradling Katie. I thought the use of the word cradling was really odd. It seems such a hater way to describe something. Not, oh, they were hugged up. You know, he was with Katie. Oh, he was over there loved up with Katie. No, cradling her. As if you had been observing for a while. As if you had been sickened by the affection. As if you had been like, God, he's doing too much. Like, really? He's cradling her. It's such a jealous, observational, hater word to the thing. What if Nolan was the big man? Either Warren, because Warren said his brother got in a fight. Either Warren or his brother said some slick shit and got in a fight with Warren because they were jealous because Katie wanted Warren. Hear me out. They were jealous Katie wanted Warren. So they started a fight with Warren because they wanted to send him and put.
Delete this damn video. Because you keep calling Nolan Warren. Like, girl, delete this goddamn video. Because if I ain't know no better, I wouldn't know what the hell you talking about. Exactly, Candy Crush. PayDae. I've been caught up on the Mo3 case. Give me a rundown on the story. I've seen bits and pieces, but don't know exactly what was supposed to happen. Girl, you probably know about as much as we know. This story here, it just keeps growing. And Tisa, I can't bear to hear you call Nolan Warren name again. Let me finish this out, bottoms up, and then I'm gonna go through what we know.
Put him in his place and humiliate him and embarrass him in front of Katie. And what if
when they started shit with Warren, it started with them yelling, "Warren, get the F on the boat! Get the F on the boat!"
Because maybe one of them had a crush on Warren. I can't do it.
Maybe the person saying he was cradling her. Maybe one of them had a crush on Katie. And they was yelling, Warren, get the F on the.
Okay, Tisa. We'll see you later, girl. You didn't disturb me calling Nolan Warren name. Girl, we'll talk to you later. We'll talk to you later, Tisa. Cause I couldn't take it no more, y'all. Oh, but bottoms up, baby. I'm gonna run through what we think we know, child. This Diana Ross looking lady is geeked up. She was definitely tripping in that one, okay? But I'm gonna give y'all a quick run through on what we do know before I end this live, and then we're gonna come back and I have some content I want to do as it pertains to Mo3 and the pre-trial and stuff. And then videos about Nolan has been coming out rapidly. So, we definitely gonna still be on that. Child, animated and wrong at the same time. Like, she was on to something. She was definitely on to something, but I need her to get everybody's name straight because she had started confusing me and making my nerves bad. Tisa, go correct that video. Delete it because Warren and Nolan is not the same people, and it just made what you said not have as much weight. Okay. But to bottoms up and everybody else, before we end this live, I'm gonna go ahead and go through what we know. Not Harriet, the underground conductor. Salute, Harriet, the underground conductor. Salute. All right, y'all. So what we know about Nolan? So Nolan, on the 4th of July, rode with him and 4 friends to Horn Island. Nolan did not make it back on that boat. His parents were looking for him. Groups of girls and guys go to clubs and run off with a random person after the club and leave your friends behind. I have never done that. Listen, you can't talk about random with me because I don't do random. I've never had a one night stand. I cannot get sexually attracted to somebody by looking at them and being like, oh my God, he's so fine, I want to do him. That ain't me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's got to be things that you do towards me, with me, the attention you give me to make me sexually attracted to you. You know what I'm saying? So I can't have no one night stand, and I'm not running off with no random niggas. Okay? Why we got to do some random shit if we didn't exchange numbers and we could just do it the regular way? Okay? So I don't get the random shit. I have never ran out with nobody randomly after the club. None of my friends have ran off with nobody randomly after the club. Now, what we have done is we have parted ways from our friend, or after the club left and went with the guy that we already know or is already dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and the nigga already be together. Everybody know it. It's like, hey, I'm about to go with him. Like maybe that has happened, but even with that happening, that didn't happen like I left the club with that person or they left the club with that person. It was a situation where we all drove back to our cars, and then when I left, I went to him or he came to me. You know what I'm saying? So I ride to and from, you know what I'm saying, with the people I came with. Another reason why I know I haven't done that is because I'm always a designated driver anyway. So that means after the club, I'm gonna have to drop everybody off before I can go do whatever I'm gonna go do. So you can't pass that scenario by me. That does not apply. I don't like random shit. I don't like random niggas. I don't like, no. That's not the type of random I want. Okay. All right. So bam, back to the story. Rolled out on Horn Island with him and 4 of his friends to go celebrate for the 4th of July. It was thousands of people. It was thousands of boats, whatever, hundreds of people, right? Buku people everywhere. Nolan did not make it back on the boat. None of his friends knew where he was. His mama started looking for him. You know, Warren claims he called the mom and asked, like, had they seen Nolan? They said they woke up the next day assuming that he was drunk on somebody's couch, but nobody knew where Nolan was. 2 days later, the body washes up on the shore where everybody was looking for his body at. They had been looking for his body for these 2 days in this same spot and other spots, but never saw his body. But it did wash up in that same exact spot 2 days later. That's weird to me. Okay. The friends immediately lawyered up and deleted all of their social media accounts. The only thing we heard from the friends was this judge who had a stepson that was on the boat. She came out saying that the guys who rode on the boat with Nolan last had contact with him at 3 p.m. He told them that he was staying back on the island and talk to Katie. Okay. Then they dropped the GPS coordinates. It was weird because the GPS coordinates said they left Horn Island at about 4:31, and the boat had been towed in to to the loading dock that they originally left from. Then they left that dock and went to Fort Bayou. Warren say they went to Fort Bayou to reconnect the blige pump. And then they went back to the loading dock that they were at. But then they went back to Fort Bayou to hook the boat up to a vehicle to drive it off to the judge's house. From what we know, they was cleaning out the boat at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's what friends in the neighborhood said. Little black chick said, we rolled by the house. They was all by the judge house. They was over there for hours. All their cell phones pinged there. We went by there. They was cleaning out the boat at 3 o'clock in the morning. Keep in mind, this ain't Wyatt's house. This the judge house. So it didn't go back to the house that it came from, which is Wyatt's house. It went back to this judge's house. Okay. So they also dropped the call when they called in to get the boat towed, right? There's one where you can hear them saying, Nolan, get up. Okay, let's go back to that one, as a matter of fact. Let me see if I can find that one. That one, it's earlier on in this live, bottoms up, if you rewind back. But we definitely hear in the background, Nolan, don't die, Nolan, get the F up, in the background while he's on there trying to talk to the ghost board. Okay. So while they on the first phone call, because they called twice, while they was on the first or the second phone call, the grandfather beat the line, told them, hey, they fine. Don't send no coast guard to them. The boat will be okay. They'll be okay. Cancel that call. But he called on a private line where I don't think it's being recorded because he called directly to the captain or some shit like that. It's a lot going on. Okay. Now, Warren claims that the last time he saw Nolan was cradling Katie in his arms. They told Nolan, get on the boat. Nolan, get the F on the boat. Something's wrong with the blige pump. Get the F on the boat. Nolan refused to get on the boat. Okay. He was left with Katie. Okay. So either they lying or Katie lying, because Katie's mom came out, Katie's sister came out
saying that Katie was under the impression that he was getting back on the boat with his friends. How would Katie be under that impression if she was right there when they told Nolan, get the F on the boat? How would she think that if she was right there when he said he was going to stay back on the island? That's what don't make sense, bottoms up. Okay, so either Katie lying or the friends lying. We don't know which one yet. Okay. What else am I missing, y'all? You didn't hear the cleared up audio or platform put it through ChatGPT and they was saying all kinds of shit in the background. Yes, I played it. Cleveland Brave Bigger. I played it earlier on in this live. They were saying all kind of shit. Somebody definitely lying. This story is crazy. They did 2 autopsies. The first autopsy is sealed. Only the grand jury can see it. The second autopsy was very incomplete. He was missing his throat. He had deep subcutaneous muscle damage in the back of his head. Subcutaneous means really deep. So in the back of his head, he was missing his throat when they sent him to the second autopsy as well. So they basically sent them an incomplete body. So the second autopsy came back undetermined. Okay, probably wasn't much he could determine from their second autopsy. I'm trying to think if there's any details that I'm leaving out so far. I think that's all and everything, but so the people that's trying to make this simple, it's so not simple. If this was an accidental drowning, like they tried to make us believe in the beginning, the sheriff came out and said, "Oh, this was an accidental drowning." He just took a look at Nolan and said it was an accidental drowning. They ain't tell us nothing about the lungs. And I think the lungs was left back with the first medical examiner that did the first autopsy. I don't think the people who did the second autopsy even had the lungs to even know if water was in it. Bottoms up. From what we know, all the organs were still with the first medical examiner. They need to do something. They need to request his body parts back or something. Like, I don't know, but if it was, I feel like if this was so simple, we would know already. If it was a simple drowning, we would already know that it was water in the lungs and that's what happened. Why is it all this hanky-panky shit? Why is this all this lawyering up and all these excuses for why they didn't go to the funeral? Well, we lawyered up because y'all all think that we had something to do with it. So if nothing can ever prove that y'all had anything to do with it, so what we think? Who cares what we think? If none of the evidence is gonna point towards y'all doing something y'all wasn't supposed to do, then who cares what we think? So it's so not simple, but everybody trying to make it simple, and it's not simple at all. Okay, that's where we at with it. I'm gonna look at Tisa Tell's live that she did today and see how on point she is. She kind of disturbed me later on in that damn video, referring to Nolan as Warren. And listen, we don't need this situation to be any more confusing than it already is. And she was kind of making it more confusing. But she did have some good points as far as the Blige pump going, like what could have happened and if there was an altercation on the boat. So we just gonna keep our eyes on it, keep our ears to it. Y'all know if y'all run across this video, y'all don't think I have, y'all are welcome to send it to my DM. Y'all know we will play it, react to it, and everything. But I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here and see what else I can find out about the Nolan Wells case. I would like to hear what the girl has to say, where she at. I don't know where the hell Katie is, child. I don't know. And then Officer Tatum, he made it seem like Katie had spoke out. He put on the thumbnail and some more shit, talk about another one of his friends speaks out, and it wasn't even Katie, child. So, and Warren claims he has a screenshot of Katie communicating with them the next day about Nolan, but he's refusing to put the screenshot up because he wants to give Katie time to contact him to do an interview so she can give context to the goddamn screenshot. Okay? But all other screenshots he put on there, he ain't worried about context. He ain't worried about the people doing the interview or nothing. Okay? But now all of a sudden, he want Katie to come sit down with him and discuss the context. Why in the fuck would she come sit down with you if you done already took the side of the friends? Child. But y'all, I'm going to get out of here. Y'all stay safe in these YouTube streets. We'll be back tomorrow, if not tonight. Okay? Y'all have a good one.